If you want to learn English in a natural and relaxing way, you're in the right place. Every story on this channel is designed to help you improve your English by simply listening and enjoying. No boring grammar lessons, no pressure, just real English in real stories. So if you're ready to improve your listening and learn new words without even trying, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell so you don't miss a story. We post new immersive English stories every day, and they're all written just for learners like you. Now, let's begin today's story. He woke up that morning with a strange feeling. Something inside him wanted to try something different. Not something big, not something wild, just something small, but still meaningful. It had been a long time since anything in his daily life felt new. The days moved quickly, but they all felt the same. So on that quiet morning, as sunlight slowly crept across the window, he made a simple decision. He would spend the whole day without saying a single word. He didn't really know why. Maybe he just wanted to feel silence in a new way. Maybe he wanted to notice things he usually missed. Or maybe he was just curious what would happen if he moved through the world without using his voice. He got out of bed, stretched his arms, and looked in the mirror. No need to say good morning. The silence already felt different. Heavy, but peaceful. He got dressed slowly, picked out a sweater that felt soft, pulled on some jeans, and tied his shoes carefully. He brushed his teeth, made his bed, and left the house without a sound. The city was already awake. Cars passed by. Bicycles rushed through small spaces, and birds chirped from hidden corners of the buildings. He walked without any destination in mind. He just wanted to move through the day, quiet and calm. Normally, when he bought coffee in the morning, he smiled at the barista and said hello. Today, he simply pointed at the drink he wanted, nodded, and paid. The barista gave him a curious look, but didn't ask any questions. With a warm cup in his hands, he sat by the window and watched people come and go. Everyone looked busy. Everyone had something to say. Some were laughing. Some were shouting into phones. Some were talking to themselves without noticing. He sipped his coffee and listened. Without needing to speak, he could finally hear the world. Every sound felt clearer. The clink of cups, the squeak of shoes on tile, the quiet hum of the fridge behind the counter. It all became part of a quiet music he never noticed before. When he finished his drink, he stood up and stepped outside. He decided to take the long way through the park. There, he walked slowly on the gravel paths. A woman was playing with her dog. A group of children chased each other near the fountain. A man was sitting on a bench reading a book. The park was alive with soft, human sounds, but none of them needed him. He wasn't part of their conversations. And yet, in some strange way, he still felt connected to them. He sat down on an empty bench and looked up at the trees. Their leaves moved gently in the breeze, like they were speaking a language of their own. It reminded him of childhood, when he used to imagine that trees could whisper secrets if you listened long enough. Today, without words in his head, the idea felt less silly. He watched a leaf fall slowly to the ground. Then another. Each one made its own small journey. and he realized something he hadn't thought about before. He was always trying to fill space with sound. Talking, humming, playing music. Silence had always felt empty, but today it felt full. He left the park and walked into the heart of the city. There were more people now, more noise. A food cart vendor called out to a customer. Two teenagers laughed loudly on the corner. Someone was playing a guitar near the steps of an old church. He passed them all, silent, and no one seemed to notice. At a small bookstore, he stopped and walked inside. The smell of old pages and warm wood filled the air. He wandered between the shelves, running his fingers across the spines. He found a book with a picture of a bird on the cover and opened it. Inside were poems about stillness, about waiting, about watching the world go by. He read one quietly, and for a moment he felt like the writer had lived a day like this too. He bought the book without saying a word. The woman behind the counter gave him a smile and a small nod. It felt like she understood. Maybe not the whole idea, but enough. Outside, he sat on a bench near the river and opened the book again. Boats passed slowly in the water. A man nearby was feeding ducks. The sky was soft and pale, and the sound of the city was distant, like a gentle hum. He stayed there a while. He let the day pass like the river. No need to chase anything. No need to answer anyone. His phone buzzed once in his pocket. A message. He saw the name of a friend. Usually, he would answer right away. But today, he just turned the screen off and put the phone away. He wanted to see what happened when he didn't respond, when he just let things be. Later, he walked through a small market. People were selling fruit, bread, handmade things. Someone offered him a slice of orange. He smiled and took it, gave a thumbs up, and kept moving. It was easy, he thought. Easier than he expected. A smile, a look, a simple gesture. These were also part of language. He thought about how many times he talked just to fill space, just to avoid quiet. But now, silence wasn't something to escape. It was something to explore. At one point, a tourist asked him for directions. He looked confused for a moment, then simply pointed, smiled, and walked on. He could have broken the silence. Just a few words. But he didn't. Not today. The sun was lower in the sky now. The buildings glowed gold and pink. He walked up a hill near the edge of the city where he could see the rooftops stretch out below. He sat on a stone wall, took off his shoes, and let his feet rest. The wind brushed past his face, and for a while he closed his eyes. He remembered moments when he had spoken too much, times he had said things he didn't mean, times he had interrupted someone who just needed to be heard. He thought about how easy it was to talk and how hard it was to really listen. But today, he had listened to everything, and it had changed something inside him. Even hunger felt different now. He wasn't thinking about what he wanted to eat or where to go. He just waited until he found a quiet spot that smelled good, pointed to something simple, paid, and sat alone at a small table near the back. He ate slowly. Each bite felt more real, every flavor stronger, without a phone in his hand, without any conversation. It was just him and the food, and that was enough. After dinner, he wandered again, through side streets with warm lights, past couples holding hands, past windows glowing with yellow lamps and old curtains. He could hear music from one of them, a soft jazz song floating through the night air. At one point, a man bumped into him. Not hard, just a gentle brush of shoulders. The man turned, expecting maybe a comment or a complaint, but he just smiled, raised a hand, and kept walking. The man seemed surprised but smiled back. He realized something else then. How much power silence had. It could calm a moment. It could change its shape. It didn't always need to be filled. The night grew deeper. Stars began to show in the small patches of sky between buildings. He walked until his feet were tired, then slowly made his way back home. The streets were quieter now. The traffic was lighter. A cat crossed the road in front of him, moving like a shadow. At home, he washed his face, changed into comfortable clothes, and sat by the window with the book he had bought. He read until his eyes grew heavy, then closed the book and turned off the light. He had spent the entire day without saying a single word, and yet it had felt like one of the fullest days of his life. He had seen more, felt more, understood more, all because he had chosen to listen, not just to the world, but to himself. As he closed his eyes, he didn't feel tired. He felt calm and deeply connected. Sometimes, he thought, the quiet says more than words ever could. You just listen to a long, immersive English story without even realizing how much you were learning. That's the magic of language through storytelling. Your brain is understanding patterns, structures, and vocabulary naturally, just by listening. If you found this story helpful and relaxing, support the channel by liking the video and subscribing. We publish a new story every single day to help you learn English in the most powerful and natural way. Now tell us in the comments, what's the longest time you've gone without speaking? Would you try a day like this? See you in tomorrow's story.